everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Breaking Character. My name is Jordan-Paige. I'm the show creator and host. Thank you so much for being here today. If you like what you see here today, please consider clicking the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified when we post every single Tuesday and Thursday. And you can also follow us on Instagram at Breaking Characters Show. Today, I am so excited to have my friend KATHRYN Madison on the show. KATHRYN Madison is a 20-year-old independent screenwriter and director. They have directed such projects as the pilot episode of Nicole O. Johnson's Progonies, and both wrote and directed the unreleased Kids These Days and Lucy Dean Grabs a Hammer. They currently reside in Metro Atlanta, where they are steadily working on a loose queer adaptation of author Rick Riordan's YA series, Heroes of Olympus. KATHRYN most enjoys writing, cats, and watching scary movies far too late at night. They aspire to live by the philosophy, comparison is the thief of joy. So without further ado, let's head to Zoom. All right. Hello, everyone. I am so excited to be joined today by KATHRYN Madison. Kat, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing good. It's hot in this room, but I'm okay.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I guess I should also ask you, would you prefer that I call you Kat or KATHRYN?
Kat. That's what people mostly call me. So that's fine.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so excited to have you on the show. I'm so thrilled to be able to talk with you. And so let's get right into this. So we're going to start off with two truths and a lie. I'm going to try to guess which one the lie is. Most times I don't get it right, so this will be interesting.
Okay. I'm a little nervous.
You got this.
Let's do it. I have climbed a mountain. I have eaten crocodile. And I once rode the same roller coaster 4 times in a row in an hour. Ooh. Those are so uninteresting. I'm so sorry.
Ooh, I would say eating crocodile and riding the same roller coaster 4 times within an hour are definitely interesting. I mean, not that the first one is, of course, considering I cannot hike to save my life. Yeah. So
yeah.
I'm gonna guess. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna guess that the third one is the lie.
The lie of the roller coaster?
Yeah.
Okay, so do I tell you now?
Yes, yeah. Okay. Which one's the
lie? I've never eaten crocodile.
Darn it.
Sorry.
Dang it.
I just can't.
I wouldn't be able to either. Which roller coaster did you ride 4 times?
Oh my God. It was the it's like this place in Fun Spot. There's one in Atlanta now too, but there's like this place in Fun Spot in like Florida, and it's, I don't know, is it the Cyclone or something? I think that's the Six Flags. I don't know, but it's like this giant wooden roller coaster, and it like has this curve where it's like when you're first going down that first like hill, it's like leaning sort of like over the street and like the railing, because it's like the park is like right on the street. So every time you're going down, it looks like you're directly about to like fall into like the gate on like some Final Destination.
Oh my gosh.
But it was fun though. It was cool.
That sounds super fun.
Yeah, I hate hiking, but yeah, I've climbed a mountain. It was sick.
That does sound awesome. So getting into our questions, so you're a filmmaker, director, and a writer, which is amazing. How did you find your way into the industry?
So when I was like 16, those who know me know this story because I talk about it a lot. When I was 16 years old, I was just in my room, just watching YouTube, and I saw something in my suggested. And it was like this Percy Jackson miniseries, and I'm obsessed. So I watched it, and I think it was by Sierra Isley.
Yes.
Was it? Yeah, it was Sierra Isley's with Isaac Upton, and I was watching it, and I was like, you can do that? I was like, what? Like, that's crazy. At that point, I loved writing and I loved acting. I don't act anymore, but I loved writing and I loved acting. And I was like, you can like what if we combine the two? It was basically like how I was sold on it. So I think I contacted Sierra, just like asking for like pointers and stuff. And I was like, who are you? Where are you? Like, how do you do this? Like, this is crazy. And from there, it just sort of snowballed into writing my own thing and then starting productions and trying to like, like sort of get my foot in the door. It was so fun.
I love that. I love, especially because I also loved the web series so much, and I
Yeah.
could not believe that it was shot here, and then
Yeah.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
like that was a time.
It blew my mind totally, completely.
Yeah, they are. It's so cool to see where the cast is now, like how
Yeah.
they've grown up. It's
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was a crazy time. It was so exciting.
And super inspirational as well, as you said.
Extremely. Yeah, like I definitely, I don't know, I never really had a proper like handle on what I really wanted before. And that was like the first time it like clicked for me, and it was like a gut feeling. I was like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. That's what it is. Finally.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So speaking about that, what is the most challenging aspect about all three of those things? Filmmaking, directing, and writing.
Okay, filmmaking, the most difficult thing is definitely like accepting, or definitely like when things go wrong. Um, it was, however, like a great thing to learn that that happens on every production. Every single one is going to have something go wrong, minor, major, it doesn't matter. So that makes me feel better. But things change so fast. And I don't think that people really realize how much time and effort it takes to make something stick and to actually finish something. And I
Mhm.
have a lot of respect for people who push through it and are able to finish it and are able to pull it together. Um, that's filmmaking in general. Directing, I have a hard time vocalizing what's in my head. I don't know if it's just like an ADHD thing, but it's hard for my mouth to catch up with my head sometimes. So it's hard for me to like really explain sometimes what I want, which is why I try to have like tons of references and notes when I can. Um, and I also just like a little bit of a perfectionist, so I just want people to just know what I'm thinking already.
That like
But that's not realistic.
knowing already, like you
Yes,
don't even have to speak out
yes.
loud.
Just look into my eyes.
You'll know what
You'll
I'm
know what I
saying.
want. Yeah. But that's about directing. And then for writing, uh it's just starting, like just starting, just picking up the laptop, just picking up the pen and just starting something. And then once you've started, then stopping becomes the bigger challenge.
That's
It'll take
true.
up take up the whole day. Yeah. But
Yeah.
those are,
Well, thank you
yeah.
for sharing those. Those
Yeah.
they are very challenging aspects. And I love when you mentioned about filmmaking, about how, that is something that you may not think of, or some people may not think of and realize like, hey, like things are going to go wrong every single time. And that doesn't mean you did something wrong. That's literally
Yeah.
just every film set. Like that's what happens.
Yep.
And it's
It is
totally
chaos.
okay. Doesn't make
Yeah.
it less annoying, but
Yeah, no.
everyone's gone through it, mostly gone through something that has thrown a wrench in their path, and you're like, oh, what do I do?
Yeah, pretty much. And just accepting that is definitely the hardest part.
Mhm. Totally. So wild card question. This question has nothing to do with anything, and it might also, we might have actually touched on it briefly. Do you have a favorite book? And if so, why is it your favorite book?
Woo! Okay, yes. I do. It's one that I just read recently, even though it came out years ago. I also need to read more books in general, so it might change. But my favorite book right now is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. It's just so heartwarming. Oh my goodness. It's so sweet. And um it captures like the confusion and I guess like sometimes like restlessness or maybe like some aspects of like depression like really well. Not understanding who you are and where you're going or what you're doing. And just trying your best to keep moving and stuff like that without really acknowledging the underlying issues. Also the family relationships were really, really good in that book. It's a great book. I can talk about it for a long time.
It
It's a really,
sounds
really
great.
good
I'm
book.
gonna have to make sure that I add it to my list of books to read, because it sounds
Yeah,
great.
it's a really, really great book. I've heard, I found it through a few friends who just introduced it to me, and I just saw it in the bookstore, swooped it up, and I
Had to grab
swear
it.
I didn't put it down for like until I was finished with it. Like I read 21 straight hours. It was a bad idea, but it was really good. It was worth it.
Wow, that's not many books I think can do that.
Yeah.
That you can't put it down.
Yeah.
Now I really have to add it to my list.
Yeah, you should. It's really gripping.
I was already planning to, but hearing
good.
that, wow.
Yeah.
So now let's play our game of memory association. So I'm going to pull up a random word here on my random word generator. And once I reach a good one, because sometimes they're terrible, we're going to say the first memory that pops into our head that we're willing to share when we read a word. You don't have to share anything that you don't want to. I'm not going to be like, really? Tell me. We're not going to do that here. Okay. So, our word is, there's not many great ones. Let's see. Wow, some of these are like really simple. Why are these oh goodness. Okay. Oh, how about this one? We found one. Brainstorm.
Okay. Brainstorm. Ooh-wee. The first thing that I think of when I think of brainstorm is this isn't really a memory. I feel this is so silly. You know that movie Shark Boy and Lava Girl?
Oh, how could I forget?
Do you remember that part where there was a literal brainstorm? Was that
Yes.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl? And the brains were falling from the sky. It's not a memory. I'm sorry.
No, that totally is a memory though, of like that scene. Because that scene is crazy.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Like that was a really good.
That just brought up a great like.
Honestly, peak cinema. No, it's peak.
I mean, you can't get much better than literally doing a brainstorm.
Than literal. I'm a little bit of a literal person. Yeah. No, that's I aspire every time that I'm writing to like make something as fantastic as that scene. And but you can't beat perfection. So
I guess Shark Boy and Lava Girl, that scene, that'll just stay at the top for a very long time.
They start running. Oh my God, Taylor Lautner doing backflips.
Yes. My favorite part of that movie is the dream. I mean, that's like me trying. I feel like if I'm in a really bad, like I can't comfort anyone at the moment, like that's me attempting. I'm just like, yeah, just lay down, just sleep.
Oh my God. No, that just reminded me of that one picture of Taylor Lautner on like a red carpet and he was like doing a handstand.
Why do I not know that this photo exists?
Wait, please, like if you find it, please add it in post. It's so funny.
Okay. I'll find it.
I'm so sorry, everyone.
No, I will be sure I find it because that sounds phenomenal.
Oh my God. It was so weird.
Oh my God.
Okay, we can move on. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. My memory that when I think of brainstorm is I always think of if I'm ever stuck on something, I I usually call my parents for literally almost anything ever. And so, but my dad is really good at like recommending things, like, and so we will like talk through like a whole story and he'll like all of a sudden I'll be like, ooh, that's a really good thing. And so it's like I always end up that when I'm brainstorming, like he helps me without even realizing it, like actually like shape. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like a super ability that he has that he does because he's not even like with the intention of being like, my dad isn't a writer, like he's not right. He just has a really good, in fact, he enjoys watching movies that you don't really have to think. Like he just likes ones that are like, oh, that's fun.
Same. Oh my God.
So it's interesting that he's the one that I find I go to when I'm like, hey, I can't figure this out, or I think this needs more, and just somehow, I guess and talking it out in general helps, but he's really good at like coming back with stuff.
Why don't we simply just
exactly. Yeah,
like, and that reminds me of brainstorming. I will often call like my best friend in the whole world, Denver Query. If you're watching this, I love you so much. But yeah, Denver has definitely been extremely helpful in like the same thing, just discussing things through. They know a lot about like they've seen a lot of like movies and shows and things like that, so they always just have something like just brimming in their they're so passionate and excited to share things, and it's so fun to listen and just feed off of that energy. So like, yeah, I can agree with you there. That's definitely something I do when I need to brainstorm.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's such a great experience.
Yeah. Super cute.
So
Yeah.
so speaking of stories, are there any specific types of stories you want to bring to life? And if so, what draws you to those themes or messages?
Okay. So definitely the first thing that came into my head when you said that just now was stories that I'm drawn to, like writing and stuff, often like come from often have to do with like anger and like loneliness. It's something that I've like dealt with like a lot in my life and stuff. And so like taking those stories and just like using them to create something, like or taking those feelings and using them to create something interesting. In a broader, more genre sense, like fantasy. I love fantasy. I love fantasy. It's so fun. I like realism too, but honestly, like the sky's the limit. So I usually just like uh totally go for it. Like, you know, vampires, gods, demons, all that. I love it. Yes, inject it. Horror too.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I One of the things I remember thinking when I first saw or when I first realized I wanted to do film is that I wanted to create stories that I wanted to see, and that I didn't get to see, or that I was always watching something that could be my favorite movie, but I just didn't see myself or my friends in it, and I was just like you know, so definitely creating more spaces for people who look like me, people who are disabled, people who are queer, people who don't know what they're doing with their lives, you know, don't have a total like set structure and are just trying to get through the days right now until something breaks for them, in a good way, until they get a break.
Yeah.
Um, just like things like that. I don't know, something new, something different, you know, like and something where you don't have to I guess just remind you that like you're not alone, your feelings are real, they're valid.
Mm-hmm.
Um and there's someone out there who cares, and there's someone out there who knows what you're feeling. So yeah, that sort of thing.
I love that. I think all of that is so important and
Yeah.
yeah, 100%. I mean, I know when I loved kids these days with like all of the different characters. Like I just they were all so different from each other, but as you said, like feelings were valid. Like there were those things that it was like, you
Yeah.
know, wow. I mean, that was the first character I had ever seen like on what I was able to audition for. That was
Yeah.
8. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God. I was like, no way. I felt so like I felt it was indescribable, that feeling of being like, oh my God, like it's written, like it's not just implied, like it's right there. And I thought that was you know, amazing. And it also opened to my eyes in some of my own work in the future of being like, no, like I like there's a character right now that I'm of what I'm working on, and I'm like, no, she's 100% ace. Like that's just what
Yep.
she is. Like it, you know, like
Yeah.
it's not even a question of like, oh, I'm adding it in because I'm like, no, that's just what she is. Like,
Yeah. It's important to like refuse to compromise. That's something that I feel like I have to do a lot, and especially at that point when I was discovering what I wanted to do in day-to-day life, is compromise or sort of dumb down what I'm saying or dumb down how I feel, because I feel things on like 100 most days. And so like I felt like I had to like sort of like squish it down and say, you know, in social situations and say, well, you know, I kind of feel this way, but like not totally this way, even though I knew exactly how I felt about a thing. Um, and just being so blatant and just open about it in my writing is definitely a great outlet. And it's something that's important to me. And I just hope that I can practice even more in day to day life for sure.
that's
Yeah.
awesome. So could you give some advice to those watching? This could be career advice, life advice, whatever type of advice you would like to give.
Okay, yes. Well, this is just a specific message for people who are sort of like more like me, who, you know, because, you know, all the inspirational things have been said. Um, But for people who are a bit more like me, where something's just not sticking, it's not working, things keep falling through, you lost this resource and that, like you're doing a million things outside of filmmaking that sort of interfere. You're just trying to balance it, keep your head together. Give yourself time. Please give yourself time. Please give yourself time. Because I swear to God, like I promise you, tomorrow's another day. Yes, nothing's promised, blah, 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 whatever. Tomorrow's another day. Your life is going to wake up tomorrow. And you can, finish that screenplay, not tomorrow. Don't try to finish that in a day. Don't do it in a day. It doesn't work, I promise. But like you can continue tomorrow. There's always tomorrow. And if you literally don't have any deadlines, and sometimes even if you do, you just stop yourself if you're getting too stressed out and just say am I taking care of myself right now? Because yes, you might love your craft and you might love everything that you do, and that's beautiful, and you should keep feeling that way. But there comes a point where things sort of start going left, and they're going left, but you don't want to say it because you just want to keep going. And do not give into that feeling at all. It's not going to turn out. It's not going to be cute. Don't do it. Bad idea. Give yourself time. Just take your time. It's okay. Your friends love you. Your family loves you. Your peers love you. It's okay. They understand. It's fine. We're in a pandemic. Chill. It's okay.
I love that. I think that's a very important message. There is time, it's, I think sometimes it feels like this race of and I loved in your bio saying, the quote of comparison is the thief of joy. And I feel like you compare those timelines and it's like, oh, well, this person was here and I'm not here. And everyone's journey is different. And that time and especially, I mean, hearing you talk about, making sure that you're taking care of yourself is something that I need to get better at, and making sure, because I get so focused on what I'm doing. And as you said, I love what I'm doing, but I need to sit back for a second sometimes and be like, okay, it's okay for me to take a break. That's okay. That's not thinking that but if I need to take a break, then am I passionate about it? No.
Yes, that's a good point. We live right now in a time where productiveness is everything, and we feel like we have to earn rest. No, you don't. We are human beings, flesh and blood. You need rest to function. That's a base need that you deserve, no matter what you did today. It doesn't matter if you literally sat in your bed and scrolled through Twitter all day. You still need rest sometimes. Sorry, it doesn't matter. Don't talk yourself out of giving yourself rest and peace. Everyone deserves that. Yeah, for sure.
I love that. So true. So when things get tough, what pushes you to keep going?
My friends. That was instant. My friends. Definitely seeing people like you, Denver, I have a friend Imani, and they're amazing. Nick and Imani on TikTok. Go follow them. I'm sorry, I don't mean to plug.
No, you're good. This is your interview. You do what you want.
Thank you. Oh my God, it's my interview. Oh my God,
it is your interview.
Prepared. No, but seeing my friends do great things, seeing them follow their dreams, seeing them, create and inspire others. It's just so boom, 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 boom. It just makes my heart it's so awesome. I just love seeing them just go. I would just sit back and watch and just be screaming in the distance, yes, I love you. You did that. Over here today. All that. I love it.
I think it's so great. I love that, being surrounded by creative people can fuel your own creativity. And my housemate and I were talking about it, and we call it sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes we call it good jealousy, in the sense of you're looking at someone and you're not why do you have that and I don't? It's, man, I am so inspired by where you are. I want to get there someday. I really wish I was where you are, so I'm going to work hard to get there. And I know I experience that all the time, seeing friends of mine, and then at the same time, just that giddiness of yes, they deserve this. Yes. It's such a great feeling.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
So, and then lastly, where can people follow you and keep up with what you do?
Okay, so My Instagram is the main thing that I use, and I'm going to create a Twitter for like, my general filmmaking, what are they called? Escapades in a second. That's going to be at KATHRYN Madison, KATHRYN Madison. And my Instagram is my friends call me Kat. Those are my two mains you can reach me at. I also have a YouTube channel, but she's under construction. So, but that's also going to be at Kat Madison. K-A-T.
Awesome. Well, that will all be in the description, so everyone can go and follow you on those. And thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. This was so fun.
Of course. I'm so glad you had a great time. I had a great time. So I'm going to press stop on the recording and we are going to head out of Zoom.
Thanks so much again for watching today. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, you can click the subscribe button and the notification bell and follow us on Instagram at Breaking Character Show. If you yourself are a creative and you're interested in being on the show, you can check out the description box below where there's a link on where to submit yourself. And if you would like to follow Kat or I on any of our social medias, all of those are in the description as well. Next week, I am super excited to have Jessica Gollin on the show. I'm so excited to really meet her for the first time and to speak with her. And Jessica, if I pronounced your last name wrong, I deeply apologize, and I will make sure I have it right when your interview goes up next Thursday. Thank you so much again for watching, and we will see you next Tuesday.